For all that you've seen, we used AnyLogic, and actually why AnyLogic is selling well, and it's really selling well. We did have growth all the time, even during this so-called economy turndown years. It's because we're the only, let's say, multi-method simulation tool. We do support multiple modeling approaches: system dynamics, agent-based, and system dynamics, agent-based, and discrete event modeling. We're not really used in the engineering world, by which I mean engineers who would use MATLAB to design physical things. We're more like a business level simulation modeling tool. But at this level, we're doing pretty well just because of the flexibility of the modeling language. The other side of the flexibility is that if you really want to learn all things in AnyLogic, you need to learn a lot. It's not just system dynamics with 5 elements in the palette. No, it's more than that. Okay, so just a few general slides on simulation modeling. How simulation models are actually used. The Baltica example was this case. Simulation is built into the operational process of the company, and the people who are actually using simulation on a daily basis don't even know that it's in there. They just push the button, just give me recommendations on what do I do with my rail car fleet in the morning, and then the model is just executed somewhere on server and gives recommendations. Like midterm planning, periodically, another similar example. Now, compare different scenarios. Let's say, I think it was with Челябинский metallurgiский комбинат, who wanted to buy new equipment for one of their steel converter plants. I think it's one of those. And they wanted to know, okay, if we buy that sort of equipment and spend that much, and if we have that layout of the plants, what's going to be the throughput, etc., etc. So compare different change scenarios. Okay, we want to get from here to there. So what's the best way in terms of cost and efficiency? Okay, yeah. Sometimes, okay, your company is bidding for a big project. I don't know, builds airport in like Sochi for Olympic Games, and you go to whoever makes decision, and you bring not just your PowerPoint slide, but also a simulation with all these fancy 3D stuff, and that can help as additional arguments in in your favor. In this case, simulation is maybe really a fake one, like nice moving, nice animation, nice picture. Training, education, management games, also a big thing. Let's say the consumer markets, telecom user market model in one of the applications in Beeline was to train regional managers. So Wimpelcom brings them together in one room, and they play against each other using a simulation engine, using the models. So they make decisions in what to do in terms of pricing, tariffs, advertising, etc. Typical phases of the project. Well, projects may or may not include all of those, but for sure, no simulation project is linear. None of them. It's not like you go to your clients, you put together the problem definition, you go home, build the model, and then come to the client again and present it. Never like that. Iterations are always the necessary and inevitable part of any modeling project. Okay, sometimes things, well, just programming, software, coding, may consume a lot of like UI developments, integration with databases, that sort of stuff. It's always doable, you know how to do it, but it may take time. This is where, if this is needed, this is where intellectual efforts may go to. And of course, the actual model development, choice of abstraction level and method. Just basically, yeah, with what I just explained. Simulation modeler, whoever talks to the client, is a critical person actually. He needs to know which questions to ask, which data to look for, what to do if the data is not available, measure, calibrate, etc. So actually the modelers are not, and I'd say the best modelers are not the people with software engineering background, although they can be. They are probably domain experts so people who really understand how things work with a little bit of additional modeling training. Okay. Tips for successful simulation modeling. What we do tell to our modelers in our consulting team is that ideally, at the end of each working day, you should have a running model that you're able to show somebody and explain. Well, ideally, people should tend to do developments in small portions, incrementally. And the bigger number of iterations you make with a client, the better. You have something, go to the client, show, and ask, okay, please look at this. Does that really work this way? Do you see any differences with the real life? This is important. Again, I was saying that modelers always tempted to model everything, the whole diversity of the real world. So minimalism is the very important rule in building simulation models. If you're not sure that something is needed, just exclude it. Include only the things that are critical. Simplify. One of the best General Electric modelers that I knew did have just a big sign simplifying on his desk. Always remind yourself, simplify things, build things incrementally. I think personally that style is important. So because you're at the end dealing with big complex things, their internals do matter, the internals of your models, I mean. How beautiful are your process flowcharts? What are the names of your variables? If you close your model, like forget it, and come back and open it in like 6 months' time, you should be able to understand how it works. It should be self-explanatory. This is very important. Well, these are, again, John Sterman advices on verification and validation. I probably wouldn't go through that too much because it's too early, I think, for you guys. Okay, who can build simulation models? Well, there are companies who can afford having internally simulation experts. There are companies that cannot afford employing people who just, who are simulation specialists. So, and it is, again, up to you whether to do modeling within the company and probably send some of your people to simulation software training or to outsource this work to a consulting company. It is always, trade-off. If you have a simulation expert inside, that's great, of course, because he can be, it's easier for him to talk to other people internally. On the other hand, a consulting company may be better at simulation modeling, can be developing models faster for you, and then leave them with you. Okay. That website, runthemodel.com, is a free portal for simulation models. So whenever people have model that is not really does not contain any confidential information and they wish to share it, they publish it as an applet on Run the Model. So if you go there, you can see models from very different areas, from healthcare to defense. And AnyLogic.com is obviously our main website.